What's up, you guys? We're back, Sales Bro Pod. This time around, we've got Mr. Kishan, Ramchandani, right?
Close enough, close enough. What's going on, guys? I appreciate you guys having me on, and thank you, Dylan.
Yeah, of course, man. Dude, I just asked you. I wanted to make sure I could get it right, but close enough. No, man, you've been in this space for a little bit. You've got a lot of connections, and I think those of you who are listening who are sales reps who kind of want to see like how to move up in pretty fast time, you're going to get a lot from this episode. So, Kishan, I guess I did a little bit of an intro, but like, what are you up to right now?
Yeah, so in terms of work, honestly, in terms of life, so I am 20 years old, and I'm still technically in college, but I'm graduating 2 years early. So graduating this summer, I one friend I like to kind of like put about myself like, oh yeah, I'm literally taking calls in a frat house, so you can do this anywhere too. But I am a coach, setting coach, and a closing coach for Close a Cartel, and also close for them. So kind of like ecosystem. So like I get people in, but also make sure that they do well too.
Yeah,
So that's what I'm doing in terms of work.
cool. And you, I mean, from what I know, like you haven't been in high ticket sales for a crazy long time, right?
Mm-mm.
Okay. So I think where you are is like where a lot of people would like to be, just like connected to some big players in the space. Obviously making some money while you're, dude. I didn't realize you were 20. I knew you were in school at 20, which is freaking sick. Um, let's take it back now that audience has a little bit of contact or context who you are, what you're up to now. Let's take it back a little bit, man. Like you're still young. You're 20 years old, but like, dude, how did you get here? Like, what kind of like upcoming did you have as a young kid? Like, were you always kind of like entrepreneurial, like outgoing? Um, talk about that a little bit.
100%. So I think a good place to start, yeah, like when I was in like probably like fifth, sixth grade, me and my brother, and this is honestly how we both started too. Like we met this kid, or he met this kid in seventh grade, so he's 3 years older than me. His name is Sanjay. He met, and he's honestly the reason why I am here today. So I'll of course thank him for that. I thank him for that all the time too. But he's exactly why I'm here. But we both started getting like the autographs we did as a hobby. Like we would just go to like Tampa, Orlando, Miami, or whatever, and meet athletes at hotels, airports, baseball games, basketball games, whatever, and get their autographs, and we would flip them. So at first it started as a hobby, but then we had too much stuff to like in our house and stuff like that. So we just started selling all of it, and we're like, holy crap, we're making a few $1,000s a month. I was like literally 13, 14 years old, and I was like, dude, I'm rich. So I just kept going with that. So that's really where I kind of knew that I wasn't gonna go. Like I was like making more than my parents at the time, or like both of us were. Um, I was like 13 and he was like 16 or whatever. Um, so yeah, and then COVID hit, so obviously all of that stopped, and COVID was kind of like the driving factor for everything. So also another cool thing about me is I used to weigh like 250 pounds, so I lost close to 100 pounds, and I lost like 40, 50 pounds up until COVID. But COVID is when I really started learning about fitness and everything like that. And at one time I thought I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to be a personal trainer. So I was spending all my time on that. But my brother, he started spending a lot of time on like looking into like e-commerce stuff. He got into like Arlen Moore's first program, Maxi. And that's when he started making like good connections. Like he met his best friend Ben Bader through Maxi, and like Harry Swales and all those kind of guys. So um, that's when he started, and he honestly got pretty lucky with his e-commerce store, but started doing that, started getting to online business, and then I saw how much money he was making. He also does sports cards full time too, so that's like his main source of income.
Yeah.
But he started making a shit ton of money, and I was like, dude, where do I even start? And then Ben was connected to Luke. He was like, yo, you should join this guy's program because he was starting an agency. It probably wouldn't be the best way to go about it. So and then January of 2022, I happened to Close a Cartel. I actually took out a loan for my brother to get in for Close a Cartel, and that's where it kind of all started. So my brother has obviously played a huge role into it, but that's kind of like how all the online business stuff kind of came into my face.
Yeah, that's a lot of a lot of good stuff to dive into. I want to ask you, are you from Florida originally?
Yes, I am from Melbourne, Florida, which is like 2 hours away from Tampa, and Tampa is where I'm currently.
Okay. Gotcha. So you were traveling around like all different cities, getting autographs, like lurking on people at hotels and like airports and stuff. Isn't
Yeah.
that called graphing? Isn't that what they call
Yes.
it? Okay.
Wait, how do you know? How do you know that like the term is for that?
I know somebody who does it. He's got like all these cool things.
What's his name? Because like that space is like pretty small, so I might know him.
He's like a friend's dad. I don't know if he actively does it anymore. He's not like super big into it, but
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like I don't think he is known for doing it. But
Okay.
he would work security at um, sporting events. Like he was a
Mm-hmm.
police officer, and he would just like always get to run into like cool people in New York. So
Yeah,
yeah,
dude, that used to be my life. It was actually kind of crazy, but yeah, like when you said graphing, I was like, holy crap, I haven't heard that term in years. But yeah, that's what we used to do.
yeah. Why did you stop that?
Because of COVID. So like every sporting event like got like wasn't in person or like it was in person, but the bubble like you couldn't let fans in and stuff
Yeah,
like that. And then like yeah, like when once my brother started making like a crap ton of money with other ways, we're like okay, yeah, there's definitely more stuff than just like I mean, dude, we would make like you would go drive to Orlando. That's like an hour there, hour back. Spend a few $100s on gas, like whatever. But then you spend like 8 hours there'll be days where you get it's just like sales. Like there'll be days where you get no autographs and you make $0. There's days where you can make three, four, five, six, a few $1,000s. So it kind of was that, but obviously the time was a huge thing. You would spend like 8 hours in the hot sun and like it was a lot of fun. Like that's how like I met some of my best friends through it.
yeah,
And but definitely not like as rewarding as sales. Like you could just sit on a Zoom call and make $750 or
yeah.
something.
So I'm curious, like, what's a time that comes to mind where you traveled like super far, like spent a lot of time doing something, and like you didn't even get the autograph?
Too many times. Too many times. We would go to and keep in mind we were making okay money, but like we weren't like loaded by any means.
Yeah,
So we would like our mom, like before we even had our license, I feel so bad for her. This is why like I work so hard because like of what the shit that we had to put her through and like making her drive us like 3 hours to like go to these places. We had family in Miami, so I guess it was okay, but she's a trooper for that. But we would drive to Miami, buy like $200 seats, and then like get no autographs and I'm just like holy crap. But then there was those times where you like adrenaline and you're like you just got like three Kevin Durant autographs in like a minute of 2 minutes because you would like double fist them and you make like $500-600 and it was like holy crap like I'm like this is amazing. So it was up and down just like sales too. Like
yeah.
the adrenaline was crazy.
Did you always do it with like flipping potential in mind, or did you ever do it for like, nah, just I really wanted this myself?
At the beginning, like the first like probably year, it was all just hobby stuff, and then like we lived in a pretty small house, so like we just had way too much stuff, like in our house, like we had like a whole like section of our house, and it was just sports memorabilia. And my mom was like, "You gotta get this out of here." I'm like, "Yeah." So we started selling stuff, and we're like, "Holy crap, we're making like a lot of money doing this." Well, a lot of money at the time, and then we it's kind of funny so like there's people called obviously there's collectors and then the people that are frowned upon are called the dealers. And like the dealers are the people that sell everything um and people like kind of like they're like oh like you're ruining for the hobby, you're ruining for the people um uh that like want it for their children or whatever. I'm like dude whatever like screw off.
It's business, bro.
Exactly.
There's so many things like that nowadays where like shoes, for example, like
Exactly. There's a lot of people like oh like think about all the kids that want these shoes like whatever,
yeah.
quit being poor.
So you did that, and you said you were like 13 or 14 at the time when you started doing that, and then COVID is like really what shut it down.
Hmm.
Um, when so you're 20, like did you start going to school in like 2020, 2021?
Like college, I came to college last year, so 20. That last year was my freshman year, but I might have like the years wrong. I think I was like actually I might have been like 11 at the time because we did it for a long time or whatever.
Yeah.
But I was like 11 to 13. I don't know. I'm not good at math, but
Okay.
yeah, I went to college last year for the
Yeah.
first year.
Gotcha. And I remember like one of the first times I spoke to you, like every time we have calls and you'll hop in, you're like in the gym, which is super
Yeah,
like makes sense.
yeah.
Um, but I wanted to ask you, like you have like a little bit of a brand built up, right, on TikTok or like some following.
Yeah, so that was I was just like, because that was at the time where I was like, oh, I kind of want to take this like this fitness stuff like serious and like just talk about weight loss and whatever. So like this was senior year of high school, right after I graduated high school actually. And I just started posting on TikTok and like not getting any views or anything like that. And then I made like these few videos and like I like they're like eight like or seven 800,000 views like in like three in a row. I'm like, holy crap,
Yeah.
and then like every other video after that like popped off. But like the thing is, I didn't know anything about business, so like I just stopped doing it because like, oh yeah, I'm not making any money off of this. Like I think I made like $400 off of like TikTok ad or create or whatever it's called. You get like
Yeah.
7 cents per every like 1,000 views or something like that. So I make $500 off of that, but I didn't make any money off of it. But looking at back at it now, like I could have created something like Serial Sales, like we're or like just a small community if for like $10, whatever, and I could have probably made a few $1,000s a month off of knowing what I know now.
Yeah. I mean, dude, you still have the account, right?
Yeah, but it's definitely dead, and I definitely like I still like fitness, of course. Like I'll still like
Yeah.
I just go through phases in life. Like now, all I can think about is sales. Like 2 years ago, all I could think about was like, oh, what am I going to eat at 2 p.m. today? Like whatever, and like just worry about my meals. But now all I worry about is sales. Like I honestly like I I need to. I'm always going to be on top of my stuff, but like I just that's not the first day on my mind right now.
Yeah. It's phases, man. Like I've been in that. Like for me, like it was school, and like I would get burnt out on school. I'd be like, dude, why am I even here? I graduated like 4 year degree. I was like, why am I even here? Like I'm just gonna quit and go to the oil fields. Like I just want to make money. Like my friends who did that or they've got like diesel trucks and boats and all this stuff, and I'm like, I just want to make money. And I didn't even know sales was like a thing. And
Mm-hmm.
then I graduated, went super hard at the first like job outside that turned into my first sales job, and then went super hard in the gym. And then I started like all this remote sales, community stuff, and it's like that has like taken priority.
Yeah,
So
gym is like kind of it'll always be there, but it's on the back burner. Like it's just like a
yeah,
thing you do every day, but it's never like holy crap, I need to hit this PR because like I'm worried
exactly.
about like
Yeah, it's
let me
like
let me close this pit first.
it, the hardest part. I think the hardest part is for me at least is the eating. Like I'm not going to use the term hard gainer, but I'm like naturally a fucking tall, skinny dude.
Mm-hmm.
I was like 135 pounds, and I went up to like 210, and then back down. And dude, that took like years of just like on off on off. So how did
Yeah,
you?
you have to force yourself. My
Yeah,
bad.
I was gonna say like what was that like going down from like from 250 around to like 150 ish? Like
Mm-hmm.
how did that come about?
Yeah, so it started like freshman year of high school. So it wasn't any like oh a year I cut off 100 pounds. It was like more like over like 3 years. So like every summer I would just come back like 35 pounds less and like look like a new person. And I just kind of became like the personal trainer of my grade. Like everyone would just like come up to me with all these questions. Like I was cool to like answer them, but like yeah, that's what I was kind of known as. Like oh yeah, like if you want to know how many calories you need to eat in a day, go ask Kishan or whatever. So that's where I was like, oh crap, and maybe I could like actually do something with this personal training thing because that's like all just like I am doing sales now. Like
Yeah,
that's all I was like breathing and sleeping was just fitness. And so yeah, it was cool. Definitely, you see how people treat you differently. Once you've, I mean, it's not even the fact that like they treated me bad when I was like overweight or whatever, but it's just like seeing that someone stuck to something for that long and like they continue to do it day in and day out. They must be good at other stuff too. So that yeah, definitely people treating me differently, but wasn't like a thing like oh I got bullied and I started doing anything like that. Like honestly, like I was still like super happy when I was over. Honestly, I don't even remember. I was young, but like it wasn't anything. There wasn't like oh crap, I need to lose weight, but it was just like all right, let me just probably start eating better and start going to the gym or whatever, and then
yeah.
then I mean just like sales or whatever, you get addictive results and you just keep going, and then that's how it kind of happened.
What did it like really boil down to when you started like cutting hard? Like what did you change?
Definitely the food. Like I don't think I've touched a soda in years. That's probably the biggest one because like I just as soon as I cut out the soda, at least I'm pretty sure. Like I have pretty vague memory because like it was a little while ago, but pretty sure like as soon as I cut out the soda and just like stopped eating crap, like it like all started losing 10 pounds. I
Yeah.
was like, oh crap, like let me just start doing a little bit more cardio, 10 pounds, and then all right, let me start like getting serious into lifting. Like it just kept going, and then yeah, it wasn't anything special. Like oh, let me like I didn't follow like a diet plan. I didn't follow like a training plan or anything like that. I just kind of that's why it probably if I had a diet plan, it could have been a little bit faster. But I'm kind of happy that it wasn't faster because it turned into a lifestyle
Yeah.
rather than just something I fall off of.
Dude, I mean, you said you were like pretty happy before, and it was kind of just something that you started doing because you're like, I should probably do this.
Yeah.
But dude, I know for me, like when I was younger, like I had a big growth spurt in high school. Like I literally almost grew a foot in the summer, and
Jeez.
got super skinny. And I was a skater, and like we would just spend all day outside skating, like um, hardly eating, just because we were like skating. You didn't have like, I mean, I don't think many kids just like have money to blow, but like, sure, I had part time job, whatever it was.
Mm.
But yeah, dude, as soon as I started like seeing results in the gym, and not as much like just mass because I like even to this day I'm not like fucking
Yeah.
massive,
It's
but
mentally.
like a little bit of size
Yeah.
and like toning it up, like dude, my confidence just got a lot better,
Mm-hmm.
and that definitely like translated to sales.
100%, 100%. Like I really I wish I like was like documenting like that whole process, but I don't know how unconfident I was at the time or whatever. But I remember obviously like doing that, like talking to girls was better, like just talking to people and better was better, like whatever, like everything just changed, and I'm kind of happy that that happened because now I'm never gonna be overweight again. Now I know exactly what to do, and now I know that anything is like possible too. Like
Yeah,
it's everything's just reps, just doing it over and over again, and continue to
yeah.
get good at it.
That's, I mean, I think that's super huge too. Like people who have badass fitness transformations, whether they lose or like gain, it's like if you can just take half of that work ethic and consistency and put it into like sales or business, like it's a perfect example of just doing the shit that you know you need to do over an extended period of time. Like you get the result. Like
Mm-hmm.
don't focus on like fuck, I need the scale to say this number, I need it to say this number. It's like no,
Yeah,
eat your meals, do your lifts, and then do it again tomorrow. It's the
hundred
same with
percent,
sales. So
100%.
or business. So you said that like people treat you differently now versus then. Like how much of a difference is it? I'm curious.
It wasn't even like disrespectful, but it was more of like more respect.
Yeah.
Like, oh shoot, like I just saw like you change in the next, like not even just your body, but change everything. Like
Yeah.
the way you speak, the way you talk to me, the way you handle yourself. I just saw everything change, and like as I started to get leaner and everything like that, my personal development, like getting pretty much switching everything, style, whatever. So seeing people like or people seeing me change, it made them want to do the exact same thing, and it was good because I was like kind of like a growth factor for like my high school friend group and everything like that. They
Yeah.
they would always come up to me with like even if it wasn't a journey about like fitness, they'd be like, oh like look at what I'm doing with this, like because they always knew like I was like half entrepreneurial, half
Yeah.
they're just getting better in every aspect of life, and they would just like come up to me and like show like oh like look what I'm doing for myself this summer or whatever. I'm like yeah dude like keep going.
Yeah. That's sweet, dude. Leading by example. I'm curious to know like kind of at this time. I mean, you started like 11 or 13 or whenever you started doing like graphing, and then you hung it up.
Mm-hmm.
Like most of the guys in this space, before they get into like high ticket sales or the model that they have success with, like they failed a few things. Like, did you fail any business models between then and now?
No, dude, that's what I like. That's why I'm so grateful for where I am today. Like my brother literally laid out the path for me. You know, well, I mean, I could have been like that piece of crap brother that won't take action and just be like, oh yeah, like whatever, and like. But I did everything I need to, and like I did eat crap in sales for like months, but just like anyone else, but never like actually failing
Yeah,
because I knew it was possible because there was something special about my brother and his friends and everything like that.
yeah. You said he did ecom, right? Like that's kind of where he started gaining traction.
Yeah, online business and ecom. So like that, honestly, dude, he'll even tell you. So he got super lucky with that and everything like that. But took that money, invested. Like my biggest regret is during COVID, sports cars. That's pretty much what he does. He also like he's actually like a business partner with Ben too. So they go like 50-50 on some deals. But so his main source of income is sports cards. And during during COVID, sports cards like 10x their Jesus Christ, why can't I think of the word? Their value. So like he would literally get a car in the mail and buy for like $500, and it'd be like worth like $2,500 by the time it got to him. So like he was making like 2K like this, like very simple, like literally just shipping a card out and everything like that. If I would have invested the money, I bought a new car during COVID because all of that money um, from autographs, but he did it in a good way and invested it. I would probably be 10 times farther than I am today. But
Yeah.
yeah, he got into that and e-commerce, but now he exited the e-commerce store, and he does the agency kind of model with Ben, and does sports cards too.
Dude, I can imagine sports cards like as your full time thing, and like that sounds like a
Kind of just sits there and talks to his friends and like just makes money. I'm like, bro, like that just shows me like it's just all leverage at the end of the day. Like
yeah.
100%. Even sales is obviously leverage over a 9 to 5 or whatever, but like there's way more leverage in other places.
Yeah, dude. Who you know is so much more important than what you know. So much more.
It's crazy.
But I was curious, like, dude, your brother blew up with an e-com store, whether it was on purpose or not. Like, why didn't you think like, oh shoot, like he literally did that? You could probably help me do that. Why didn't you like try it yourself?
Honestly, we it's not like we were distant, but like he was in Tampa at the time. I was back in my hometown, so like that was in the age of like where he was in college and I wasn't just yet. And honestly, I mean, we would talk every once in a while, but it wasn't as like now we're like best friends, or obviously we were always best friends, but I didn't talk to him as much. So I kind of didn't even know what he was like doing. He would just like post a story from like Las Vegas or like because he would go to different card shows and everything like that. I'm like, why is he there? And I never really asked him, and then I started figuring out as time goes on. But I didn't know my head from my ass in terms of econ, so I was like, even he was like, yeah, like I'll give you like Iman's course and stuff like that. Like you can like start an agency, and then he was like, wait, no, you definitely shouldn't do that because like you're just gonna probably fail. So like just get in sales. So I was like, okay.
So he was the one that recommended you get into sales.
Yeah, so it was him and Ben. Ben's also a huge part of where I am today too. Just not even like doing anything special, but just being there and like showing me that all of this stuff is real and everything like that. I think that's the biggest advantage that I had. It was just like people in front of me in my personal life were doing it, so I knew it was real. But him and Ben were like, hey, you should definitely not like start anything that requires a bunch of different skills. Just do sales because it'll be a lot easier.
It's so much more like impactful when like you hear it from somebody who's actually a couple steps ahead of you.
100%.
And also like, dude, there's a lot of mentorship programs out there, and like I've invested in a ton of them, or coaching programs and all, but like you're not going to get the same level of insight for your specific situation typically in a coaching program than like this dude who wants to help you because he likes you.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
100%.
like I know you've invested in some programs as well. So
I spend a little bit too much on coaching, but it's paying off. Like, I posted a tweet about this, but like, I get financial aid for college, and it's like for my rent and stuff like that. And I just took it and I just like threw it at another coaching program, and it's paid off. Like I'm like by far way better than I am than I was like 5-6 months ago. But it's like having those people around me that would probably do the same thing or like be like, oh yeah, just do it. Like I've never hesitated to like throw money or whatever.
Yeah, I mean that's a key differentiator between like a lot of people in our space and those who like just play it safe. It's like offense versus defense, you know.
100%.
So and I think you're a smart dude. You obviously realize I'm 20 years old. I'm already here. Like, where can I get if I'm just like actively meeting more people, investing in new coaches? Like, I think some of the most valuable things that I've gotten from these coaching programs are literally the people that I've met. Because like to get in a room or into a group where everybody paid a minimum of $5,000, it's like, dude, the type of people you meet there are like so much better than just like, well, you can meet badass people on like Twitter or social media, but yeah, dude, some of the best connections I've had were from like putting down a nice chunk of change on coaching.
100%, dude. Like even people I'm moving in with, like they're all from Closer Cartel and everything like that. And honestly, like, cause like the other, like Bill Washer's program that I'm into, like like I still show up to everything. Like, I'm trying to be as active as possible, but it was more of like I guess the persona change of when you invest X amount of money into something. Like you just have like this like ego on calls and like, dude, done XYZ for myself, like I'm gonna do everything in my power to become the best version of myself. Even if I'm like I had a kid come into Closer Cartel, didn't even touch a video, and he started making 4 times his income because of just like that persona. I guess I forget what it's called. Persona, I don't know, persona change, but just like him like put like doubling down on him, not even implementing anything yet, but just making way more money just by doing that first step.
Yeah, dude. And sometimes like the first coaching program I invested into, I like low key already knew what I needed to do. And it was just like a matter of some skin in the game because without that, especially like if you're new to it, I mean it's hard to like commit. Like I like to make it hurt if I don't do the thing, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, man, coaching is badass and
Love
everybody
it.
who's listening, if you are one of those guys that says like coaching is a scam, like dude, you're a fucking loser. Like straight up.
I agree. I
Like
agree. Even if you like, I know like kid or guys that are in like $15,000 or $10,000 masterminds, and they'll show up to like maybe a coaching call every like once a month. It's just like again the people that they're there then, and also that I've put X amount of money into this. Like I'm gonna make this work.
yeah. Yeah, so I will say like you guys should definitely do your due diligence on who
Mm-hmm.
you're working with. But if you just literally think coaching's a scam, like get lost, dude.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna fall behind. So you get into you get told like, hey, you should do this remote sales thing. Was it specifically like remote high ticket sales, or was you just up sales?
Yeah. Again, thank you, Ben. Thank you, my brother Sanjay, for that. But yeah, exactly where I needed to be. As lucky as that sounds, yeah, exactly where I needed to be. But I did try to do it on my own without coaching. So this is another testament to it. I tried doing it on my own, like doing scraping Facebook groups, whatever. Got an opportunity, and I was just like appointment setting for a guy that's never like had a product. I guess I was just appointment setting for whenever he did want to build the product, so he had leads already in a CRM. And I was like, dude, like, what am I? Oh, it's like 3 weeks of my life. I'm like, bro, like, what am I doing? And then my brother was like, yeah, I can't watch this anymore. And here, take this money, like, go invest it into Closer Cartel. I was like, okay, yeah. So he didn't want to hurt himself by watching me like just get fucking
Yeah,
screwed.
yeah, that's so common in the space. Now that you've kind of like been around a little bit and you've been on some offers, like what did you do wrong on that first? Like, what was the big red flag looking back that now like you'd be like, oh, that's not a good opportunity?
Yeah, you can't really have spidey senses of offers until you've been around the block. But like it was like now, like yeah, obviously I wouldn't do that without any base pay or like go do cold leads or whatever. But I was just like, oh yeah, like worst case scenario, I just waste 3 weeks, which it was with the worst case scenario. So it wasn't a huge
Yeah,
deal. But even joining after a coaching program, I still ate crap for a little bit.
yeah,
Like because I had this ego. I was like, oh, I don't want appointments set. I don't want appointments set. I don't want appointments set. I just want to close. So I was one of those guys, and then I sat for like 3 months with no opportunities because I like no one really wants to hire. Not the best offers don't want to hire closers that don't have any experience, and I figured that out the hard way, and just kind of kept on like, oh yeah, let me do all these DMs, and I was like, yeah, like there's like I just need to start somewhere.
yeah. So did I think when we met, you were appointment setting,
Dude,
right? So
I was an appointment setter for a long time. It was half because I wanted to because I was making pretty decent money on this offer, um, and half like dude, yeah, it was just too easy. Like I was just making money. I was still getting pretty good because I would like I even joined my coaching program that's like particularly only for closers when I was an appointment setter because I was like, let me just get ready for whenever I do close and everything
yeah.
like that.
I mean, dude, the experience, like, sure, is it like everybody wants to be a closer? Yeah, like that's the end goal for most people. But like, I don't know how long you were setting for, but dude, that experience was probably really, really good in helping you
Needed it,
be who you are now. You know,
100%.
I was the same way, dude. I had an ego when I came into it. I was like, I don't want to set appointments, dude. I already had
Yeah,
sales experience, but it was just in a different industry. It was roofing sales, and to me, like this space is like high ticket sales, whatever. I was slinging like 10K, 20K, 50K roofs, like a few a week, and so I was like, I was like, dude, I've sold a lot of high ticket things. I know, like now looking at it, it's like I see guys come in with to the space with this like mentality all the time, and they just don't get it. Um,
Yeah, trust me on my sales calls all the time. Like this dude, like doing like 50K in real estate, and he's like having trouble. I was like, dude, like, like you do have sales skills, but it's just different. It is, unfortunately.
it is, dude. I got into my first offer, and I went on in on a trial with a good team actually. Like they're doing some pretty solid numbers when I got in, and dude, I was so shocked how different it was. Like I was like, dude, I'm top rep at my company. I'm like literally setting company records, and I was first second year in sales, and then I got over to high ticket sales on this trial. Luckily, I made it past the trial, like I got brought on, but dude, it was like a big slap in the face. I was like, shit, like I was like, do I actually know how to sell? Because managing like a one call close sales cycle versus like a 1, 2, 3 month sales cycle, completely different things. Um,
Mhm.
so I was that dude with the ego. If anybody listening to this is that guy with the ego, like
Yeah, get over it quick.
just like you're better off just getting started somewhere than like sitting around on your ass waiting for that company who wants to hire a closer with no experience where you're going to make like magically 10K 15K a month.
Yeah.
It's like I'm not gonna say it doesn't exist, but like it almost doesn't exist. So just get in and meet people. Like that's the most important thing too. Um, meet people, like meet guys like Kishan and myself, and guys in all these programs and all that. Like high ticket sales is all about the network there. But so you got setting. Like how did you land that the first like real setting job? How'd you land that?
So there I actually landed one closing. I was like, oh yeah, like I told myself so I would land it, and it was really bad. And I was like, all right, I took like 4 calls in like 4 weeks. I was like, what the heck is this? Then I got another opportunity, which promised all warm leads inbound. It was a setting opportunity. Ended up all being cold calling, all DM or like doing cold DMs. I was like, God damn it! But I did that for 2 months. Honestly, that was like a huge good thing for me because it got my sales skills a little bit better. And then I got onto the mindset offer. I think that was when I met you on the mindset offer. That honestly changed my life. It changed my life in terms of like that was like my first love of opportunities, and I had a hard time like getting over that one of like leaving and stuff like that. But it had to be done. But
Yeah,
that was I appreciate the hell out of those guys that were on that offer. But that was like my first one. I was there for like 8 or 9 months, and it was like the first one that was like making good money. I was like, holy crap, I can do this.
yeah. It looks so good on your resume too, and like I'm not gonna dox the offer, but like a lot of people know of that offer.
No, they're huge in the space.
Yeah. Um, so it sounds like that the one that finally clicked for you as an appointment setter was like the fourth offer.
Yeah, that was like the third or fourth offer.
It's like I think that's an expectation too that people don't realize. It's like there's so much going on in this space. Like the chances that you land that 10K a month deal on your first try, like so
Yeah,
rare, dude. Don't
yeah.
sit around and wait for it. Like
Mhm.
just get somewhere where you can build the resume. I think that's the biggest thing. And then eventually, just by association, like you're gonna learn of those opportunities, and you'll have a good shot because you have the track record. But
100%.
more specifically, man, like how did you get connected with the first offer? Was it through Closer Cartel, or was it mutual, or
It was actually through Ben.
okay,
I was doing he'd like post on his story. He's like, oh, like who I need a setter or whatever. And then I literally just name dropped one time because I knew they were friends. And he was like, okay, you're hired. And I was like hired 15 minutes later. Um,
that's
dude,
crazy.
every offer I've been on prior, like every good offer. So I guess I've been on three since. Like I haven't gotten on interviews. Like it's just been like here, like just come here because the other people I know. So like now I'm starting to realize like holy crap, it is the people that you know and everything like that. I always thought that like oh like the whole networking thing, but I was like holy crap, like yeah,
Yeah,
like I see people struggling for months, and I'm like yeah, I just get stuff thrown at me left and right because like a lot of my friends do like agency stuff, so they always have like clients that they need salespeople for. So I'm like always like the first one there.
yeah. Just another testament, man. You guys got to be networking
Yeah.
100%. Um, And that's true for myself as well. Like the last, I would say, at least 3 offers that was on through the network,
Mm-hmm.
and like I like sure I have a little bit of a personal brand. I think that if you want to sell social media stuff and agency stuff, like brand yourself a little bit at least. Like
That's what I'm working on right now. Like, Luke is actually, I don't know how much I can, but like, start shooting reels and everything like that for CC. So it's going to be dope and it's going to help me and obviously CC too. So
yeah,
can't wait for that.
yeah. So dude, who you know more important than what you know.
100%.
Especially in high ticket sales, bro. It's like the best offers, they don't get blasted in Facebook groups. It's like, who do you know that would absolutely crush it here? And
Mm-hmm.
then you get connected.
Yeah. What I tell everyone, especially on my sales calls, like I'll have people that come on and like, oh yeah, I already know sales. Like I'm like really, really good at closing. Okay. Like how many opportunities do you have lined up? And they're like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, "Well, the best closers always have like literally 3 or 4 opportunities they can choose from if they get dropped off of their thing." So like, how many like sales roles do you have lined up right now? Oh, none. Okay, so you're probably not as good as you think you are. And I like that's like literally what the angle I come on like on my sales calls because I mean you like I remember when you put out your oh yeah I'm a free agent on the thing like you got probably even like got on like 30 interviews because like it's true like the best closers the best basketball players if they leave the market like people are going to come hop on them and ask them to sell for them so I pull that crap all the time on my sales calls.
Yeah. Dude, that's literally the job, bro. Like finding sales jobs and like prospecting. I mean, look, it might be like a different version of it because everyone wants to be inbound closer, fat cat closers. But no, dude, it's the job. Like if you can't go and like present yourself in a way where you seem like a desirable person to have on the team, like you
Mm-hmm.
can bring value, like dude, how are you going to present the offer in the right light? Like
100%.
they're not gonna trust you. That's why, dude. And I even like when I work with guys and just like general videos and like content that I put out, like I focus on like everything that's within your control. Like, dude, you have to be optimizing it. Like your fucking Wi-Fi connection, your fucking when you get on an interview, like you show up like in your car, like, bro, what are you doing? Like,
Yeah.
get right, like get the
It
camera.
literally takes 30 seconds and it could like change your whole life trajectory. So just freaking do it.
Yeah, dude, it's like when you hop on an interview, that is the exact impression that like they're like, this is what my prospect is going to see. You look like a bum or like some loser or like you're in a car, you're unprepared, you're not going to get hired. So, or you could just be like Kishan and just know people so that you don't have to take interviews. That's the goal.
Yeah, dude. I like there. I this is stuff like a little bit down the line, but there's like opportunities coming for me that like I don't know what I deserved to do to get them, but they're coming, and I'm like, holy crap! Like this is like. I think it just comes down to the fact that like, and this is I guess my advice, especially to other 20-year-olds doing the online sales thing, like be more than just a sales rep. Like do everything you can. Like even if you're not like a sales manager, or whatever. Like do as much as you can to be the best sales rep as you can. That's not only just sitting on their closing calls and just taking deals, but it could be like posting on Twitter, posting wins, posting whatever, doing your personal brand. Like I like the fact that I have my company's name in my bio. I've made like 4 or 5 different sales just because of that one thing in my bio. Like be more than just a sales rep, and you'll get rewarded for it.
Yeah. Can you talk on what what kind of benefits you've seen from being active in these different networks
Mm-hmm.
versus just being like a fly on a wall?
Yeah, I mean, dude. To be fair, like I wish I was like I think that's my goal for the next 6 months, just to get bigger on social media. But like, dude, like in terms of like the network that I have, or like the group around me, obviously my brother, like those are all my brother's best friends. So he's, but if I was a total weirdo, they probably wouldn't help me out, right? So it's being more of like don't like I don't go into these conversations like, oh yeah, can I work for you, or can I work for one of your clients? It's just like, let me be their friend, let me connect them with it on a genuine relationship. And if they like that, and obviously they if I know that I'm talented and stuff like that, like what I'm starting to realize, like as a salesperson, they'd rather take the less talented person if the person was a complete bozo. Like I'd rather have like a less talented person but it fits the culture, because I can help him do that, but you can't really teach culture
Yeah.
and everything like that.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's a huge part of it too, man. Like I'm trying to think of a good example, but I've seen many times over like the less experienced guy gets hired because he was just cooler. Like he was
Yeah, no,
I
and I mean, it's sales, dude. It's all about sauce. Like it really
yeah,
is, and like it's yeah, because there are a lot of geeks out there, but like, and they might be like good analytically, but like like even Iman talks about this. He was like, if I can't have a coffee or like smoke a cigar with one of my team members, like I don't want you on the team.
yeah,
And yeah, that's just how I kind of look at it too.
yeah. I think I've heard him say that, but that's super true. Um, so let's see. Let's like I like to kind of go along the timeline and then talk about whatever comes up and then keep going along the timeline. So let's go like you sat for 8 or 9 months with mindset coach. Is that
We
right?
can say it like yeah, wake up wealthy, and
Yeah.
it's
You,
yeah.
you set for this well-known program, um, and then you said you had a few opportunities between that and where you are now. Um, some which you maybe didn't even have to interview for. So was that when like the network really started? Like once you got the results, it was like, oh, okay, like Kishan's actually good at this. Now we can like refer him to people we know. Or how did that play out?
It wasn't even like that. It was more of like I just like kept going to like not even that. Like I was just like I was like that offer kept kind of not going the way I wanted to. But the only thing that was like keeping me there was the team. Like I love the team. I still do. Like we
Yeah,
talk every so often, everything like that. But it was a team keeping me there. But like I was kind of like in and out for a little bit of like, dang, like I need to. Because I had this goal and I actually like am hitting it right now. It feels crazy because like I've been like kind of like putting it out there for so long. I'm gonna be making X amount of money by this time point, and it like 100% happened. So that's another really cool thing too. But um, I was like, if I want to hit that goal, I have to like leave now. Like I have to do myself a favor, and that was another thing that I'm like kind of bad at. It's not, and it's like kind of taking myself first in terms of like I was worried about burning a bridge, which wasn't gonna burn because again they love me more than just a sales rep. Like I was more of a friend to them and stuff like that. So like me doing the best thing for me wasn't a bad thing at all. It was just all subconsciously like, oh, like they're gonna hate me for this or whatever. So learning how to do that. But yeah, like I was on another like biz op offer that was like that was like through personal network too. And that I didn't even. He was like, "Oh, like we need to close their closer." And I was like hired the next day. And I was like, "Oh, this is cool."
yeah,
And then Luke too. So obviously, I just kept going back to Miami, and obviously my brother and Luke are best friends. And he was like, Luke is very like he wants to trust his team a lot, and he'd rather have someone that he's friends with on his team, of course, and obviously talented too. So he was like, "Dude, just come on." And I started off as a coach for them. And then at one point he was just like, "Dude, we're like running out of calendar space. Like I need to hire." He's like, "You want to take some calls?" I was like, and this is when I was still setting, and I was like, "Yeah, why not?" I was a little scared, but like, I was like, "Yeah, well, fuck it, like why not?" And then it kind of history since then.
yeah. That's cool. How did you? You said you went from setting with Wake Up Wealthy to closing. Like I feel like a lot of guys like they struggle with like going from setter to closer, especially when you go from like one team to the next. So like, how did you get to do that? Like, did you have to sell it, or was it like a newer team, or like what was your end there?
So so I technically at one point I was kind of on like three different offers. So I was like, yeah, it was kind of a mess. But that was like not. I wasn't really on the closer cartel. I was just um coaching at the time. But I was on like the Wake Up Wealthy and like the other biz op offer. But I was only taking like 2 calls a week for the biz op offer because the volume like wasn't there.
Mm-hmm.
But we had a plan back in like months before of like me becoming or moving up to closer and just never like ended up happening. I was making more than like the top closer, like as a setter or pretty close to it. So I was like, it doesn't really make sense, and like I'm not really in a huge rush to do it. So, but I ended up moving up to closer on Wake Up Wealthy, and then when I started closing for Luke too, he was just like, I trust you, like, just here. I'm
Yeah.
like, okay. So I didn't even have to. It just kind of happened naturally. But with Wake Up Wealthy, it was like an idea for a long ass time.
Yeah. I feel like I went through a similar thing. I was closing on a fitness offer for most of last year, and I like had kind of hit, I feel like, a ceiling, and I didn't have anything where it's like, oh, I want to be making X money before X date. Um, I think I just realized like, hey, I'm like kind of capped out. Like I'm performing best on the team and not necessarily making crazy money. So let me look at other opportunities. But for you, when you realize like, hey, I've probably capped out here and I have this goal, like what was it like simply just like, hey, lead flow kind of slowed down? Like what was it that made you realize like I'm not going to hit this goal in this vehicle?
Mm-hmm. It was mostly the offer in terms of like, dude, like it's very hard to, even though it's like the really like the coolest offer out there, like I think it's dope what they do there. It's just very hard to tangibly sell that. Like it's not an ROI based offer. It's not like a make money type of offer. So like to front up like almost 5 figures worth of money for something that's not necessarily tangible. But I do know like the end result of like the people that are in it, and it's like super dope. It's well worth it, and like the mastermind type of it, it's very hard to kind of sell that.
Yeah,
And that could be subconsciously too, but everyone says it on that offer too. But like it just wasn't. It wasn't like the cash flow type of thing I needed at the time.
yeah. I know people who have gone through that program and like literally their lives change after. Like they
Yeah,
started
100%.
businesses, all that. Like if you know Dylan Rich, he was telling me
Mm-hmm.
that he went through that, and then that's like how when he realized like I'm gonna get out of the job and do my own thing. Cool.
Yeah, he's super cool. He lives in St. Pete,
Yeah,
which
yeah,
is like
yeah.
30 minutes away.
So let's talk about you now as a closer, man. So you're closing at a really high percentage. You're closing out of a frat house, and you're 20 years old. Like, where do we start, man? What's it like closing out of a frat house?
It's kind of funny, dude. Like I'll like it isn't the school year right now, but like during the school year, like I would like take calls like every once in a while. I'll go for a walk outside. Like my roommates sitting on the couch watching Harry Potter at 10 a.m. Like people like shotgunning beers. I'm like, bro, like I just made like I think the one time that like it hit me is we went to this formal in in NOLA, and it was like $400 for everyone, and everyone was like freaking out, and they're like, "Holy crap! Like I can't do this. Like we can't go. Like it's gonna be like I'm gonna be like I have to work." I'm like, "Holy crap!" Like and not like an egotistical way, but like dude, that's like literally like do that in like 20 minutes like on a call. Like it's like that's when I was like, "Holy crap!" Like not even like an egotistical way. Like dude, I'm so grateful to be in the position I am today. And a lot of people tell me too is like maybe like they're like maybe you'll regret graduating 2 years early when because you kind of have like the lifestyle that like people had to leave college to go pursue that type of life, but you're kind of doing it while you're in college. And they're like, dude, you should take advantage of this time that you have, like where you can kind of still go out 2 nights a week if you wanted to, and like be in the like the Greek life, and then still make like decent money too. Like
Yeah,
a lot of people tell me that I mean this I do want to get out of it, of course, but like because I think I'll just make more money that way and I'll just be better off that way. But there are people like even Ben probably he's like, dude, you should probably take advantage of this because like because he used to be in a frat and he used to love it, but he couldn't unfortunately handle both of them, like starting a business and doing that.
yeah. But I think you just like slipped something in super nonchalantly. You say you're gonna graduate 2 years early.
Yeah. So I'm only a oh because I took a lot of classes in high school, like college classes, like dual enrollment. So I came in like pretty much with my AA. So I came in with like dude, they sent me a lot of money during the school year for financial aid. Like I could sit here and pay $800 for rent, and it's all covered by my financial aid and everything like that. My food's covered by financial aid and everything like that. I could sit here and rack in like so much cash if I wanted to, but like it just like doesn't. I think where I am right now, like I don't need to be doing that. Like I want to put more pressure on myself.
Yeah. What are you studying?
Public health. So like the only reason why I did that is because like the whole nutrition aspect of it, and I was like I already know like a lot about nutrition. So I was like if I can just kind of cheat on everything. I already knew coming into like college I wasn't going to use it, but the fact that it's all free and I'm on scholarship, like I was like, oh, it's like a free trip to Tampa.
That was my thing too. Like I have like a military family, and for me, like college was just like the next thing to do because of that. Like I studied construction science, bro. I'm
You're
not
doing a lot with that.
not really constructing anything over here. Well, I mean, I guess kind of, but I don't know. A lot of the guys that I went to school with, like, dude, they're making 50, 60K a year, like just out in the sun, 10, 12-hour days, managing construction crews and like stuff like that, or starting their own business. But um, yeah, so why? I mean, for you, you obviously didn't know that sales was like the thing for you for like since you were young.
Mhm.
Um, like, is it just like a milestone that you want to achieve, like getting the degree?
No, not at all. If it were up to me, I just wouldn't walk. Like it's literally like in 2 months from now, because I'm graduating this summer, but they only have like one graduation during summer, so it's in August. If my mom didn't want me to get it, or if my mom didn't want to come to that, because like I mean that's probably a happy thing for a parent, even though
Yeah,
she knows deep down I'm not going to do anything with it. It's for them. It's for my parents.
yeah. Same with me, dude. There was like so many times where I wanted to drop out, and I was just like, "Fuck, I'm already this far in," and like it would make my parents a lot happier if I just finished. So I did.
Yeah.
Obviously, stuff worked out, but I feel like knowing what I know now, like when I meet dudes who are like 18, 19, 20, I'm like, dude, if you just keep doing what you're doing, like when you are like, sounds like I'm fucking old. I'm literally just I not even that far into 25. Um, it's like come 2, 3 years, like you're gonna be just blowing people out of the water.
I know, dude. Like I'm kind of scared of like I'm one of those people. Like I do want to be, of course, rich as hell, but like I'm one of those people. Like, dude, I don't know how I'm gonna be, but like I just like love being free. But I feel like that like I don't I have like no desire to be like a billionaire or anything like that.
Yeah,
I don't know. So like in 2 years, like I could just top out at like 30, 40, 50K per month and just like but I don't think I will. But because I've only thought so far. I was only focused on like that first like that near 15K mark. So like and the fact that like that like I put this time zone out and like I'm pretty much there yet. Like it's like I can't even think much farther yet because that's all I've been thinking about for the past year and a half.
yeah, yeah. I was gonna ask you. So going forward, like I think a lot of guys like they get into sales and they start making some money, and it's like there's not really any like you can very easily get comfortable, right? So like, what is if you've thought that far? Like, what is next for you? Like, what's the play? Is it a business? Is it something bigger?
Yeah. So up until a few months ago, it was again, I don't know how much I can talk about this, but up until a few months ago, it was me, and I still kind of want to do this. Is me going to kind of have like a consultant agency, so going into different sales teams and building their sales teams from the ground up, and like training all of them, kind of like what Justin does, but just like more on a bigger scale. In terms of like I'll do everything, not just setters. Kind of come into their businesses and do all of that, get retainer plus rev share. So I still might do that, but also I could be playing a. Luke is like asking me to. I don't know when it's going to be, but playing a bigger role for Closer Cartel too. So
Yeah,
that's still depending on what's going to happen soon. But I mean I think where I am right now, I'm going to be there for a while.
yeah, yeah. You so you're. I mean, it's not like you're in a rush. Like now you are in a spot where it's like, hey, things are still like increasingly getting better. And it's just like, hey, I'm just kind of enjoying it right now.
What I've learned is a lot of especially kids my age, like they'll have this shiny object syndrome, and they'll like even if I could go on an offer and make like I'm not saying this, but I'm sure there are offers where I could go right now and like maybe make more money than I am right now. But I know long term, like staying loyal to, and obviously like on the past offer, like I was really loyal for a long time. Me
Yeah,
staying loyal, and when there's potential for something bigger, like I know it's going to pay off.
yeah,
And I love working with people that like are that I'm friends with too. So like it
yeah.
doesn't even feel like work at the end of the day.
That's a big thing too. It's like stay loyal to people if they are giving you a reason to stay loyal. Like don't stay loyal just because like they're the first ones to hire you. Like if you
Yeah,
haven't gotten paid in 3 months and whatever, but like if there's serious potential and possibility for you to like make your first 5, 10K and then go onward management, whatever from there. Like, yeah, dude, go hard. Like do everything you can and more for them. And I was gonna say too, like there are closers out there, who are making 30, 40, 50K. I've even heard of some making more than that.
totally.
Um, and it's like completely legit. Like I'm not just pulling numbers out of my ass.
No,
Um,
like even Bill, he used to make 100K, or I think he had 100K a month as a sales rep.
yeah, yeah, and I mean, dude, I think Jeremy Miner was like he made like 2 million in commissions for like 12 years straight or something. Like,
Yeah, like I don't think I'm gonna be in the game as a sales rep to even get to those like 30 plus K. Like I do love sales calls and everything like that. Like I love talking to people and stuff like that. But like I'm using it for the vehicle to be honest.
yeah,
But I still don't know what. Who knows? Maybe a year from now, I'll be like, did I freaking love this crap? And like, I'm gonna stay and just take a sales call for forever. Who knows?
I mean, dude, it's a high cash flow, profession. Like if you can get in a good vehicle, um, and like if you just want to make 15K a month and like fuck off to the middle of nowhere for the rest of your life, like that's cool. It just depends on where you're looking to go, where you're looking to take it.
100%.
Um, let's see, man. What else could we hit on last minute that'd be useful for the audience? Mostly people listening, they are looking to like either they're brand new in high ticket sales, or they're looking to start. Maybe they're looking to just get better. Um, I don't know. What is some of like you probably brought up like a lot of memories of like stuff that's helped you and all that. Like, what are some of the biggest
Mm-hmm.
pointers to people who are in that like earlier stage of the journey here?
Totally. And I think it's I'll still have imposter syndrome of like, oh dude, I only started like 2 years ago or like a year and a half ago, whatever. But bro, like 1 to 2 years in sales, a lot can change. Like a lot. And so I think advice for maybe kids my age or whatever that are trying to get into this or are in it and kind of eating crap right now. A lot of people there are going to be those people that come in here and have like a 5K month like as a DM center of their first offer and like and sustain that and like make 10K pretty quickly. But 99% of people don't do that. They're going to eat crap for a little bit. They're going to go through it. They're going to want to quit. They're going to do that. But like that's what separates the people from. If I didn't obviously me having a advantage of knowing that it's possible and knowing people that have done it before. Obviously, that's why I didn't quit, of course. But me going through the stuff like that I went through, like and how hard it was, like probably would have quit whatever if I didn't have those people. But all of it was worth it because a year later, I'm exactly where I thought I was going to be in a year. So don't be too quick to jump ship. I know a lot of people were just like picking their stuff off and just like quitting offers and then just trying to go sell solar and make like 20 G's a month. That's not easy either. That's not easy either. Like don't obviously don't stay too long in terms of like I get this question a lot, like how long should I know to remain in something before like I should jump ship? Obviously it's very hard to give them a one size fits all type of answer, but like you have to know like your end goals too. Like obviously do what's best for you. By the end of the day, don't jump ship too quickly because I know too many people that just stay on offers for like 2 months and just like never make any money because they don't let things pan out. Because unfortunately, that's what sales is. You have to let stuff pan out. You're not going to make 30K in your first month.
Yeah, yeah. So you got to see it through. Like if your goal is to like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna come into high ticket sales and like do it for 2 months before this thing. Like, dude, don't
Yeah,
even start.
go find something else. Yeah, like go find something else. I don't even know what else you would find because honestly, sales is the lowest barrier to entry because you're just going to eat crap in a lot of different business models. But maybe this business stuff isn't for you.
Yeah. So if you can like stick it out, at least 6 months, like, and then just along the way get connected with people, like it's really hard to fail, super hard. Just like create an environment in which it's super hard to fail. Like that's, I guess, some big advice there.
I think another thing too is like Start now. Like I'm thinking about how less of risk. Like if I started when I was 24 and I was working 9 to 5, how much harder it would be to like spend 3K in something that like I'll have to work on top of a 9 to 5 and transition out of, because like that's what I help people do in Closer Cartel. Like, dude, I'm so grateful that I started when I literally don't do any schoolwork and I literally didn't have anything else to do, because as soon as I get out into the quote unquote real world, I literally don't have to worry about like going to the 9 to 5s and like transitioning out, because like, dude, that's hard, especially like for like a dude like Justin. I was watching it yesterday. Like obviously I know Justin very quick or a lot, but like dude, imagine having kids, a wife, a house, like all this responsibility, and you're trying to like make this commission sales jobs work. It'll work for in a long period of time, but imagine having that much pressure on you. Like do it. Like I'm not telling you not to have pressure on you. Everyone doesn't find about this stuff when they're 18, 19 year old like me, but like if you are doing it, just start now, because you won't regret it.
Yeah, yeah, dude. That was like the situation with me. Like I didn't even know about high ticket sales until like very shortly after I found out about it. I started like I
Good.
did it, but like, dude, I was in like a. I mean, I think they call it like golden handcuff situation where I was like, I was gonna make between 150 200K in like my second year in sales. Um, and I loved the team I was on, but I was like, dude, it's just not like it's not the vehicle that I want. And roofing was like kind of dangerous. I had like some close calls. I was like, I need to get out before I'm given a reason to get out.
Oh
Um,
shit.
I was like, this is like it just makes sense. And like I went into it, quit my main job on the trial of the closing offer. I didn't know if I was going to secure it or not. And I had obviously I had money saved up, so like I had some runway. But
But still, how scary was that?
and dude, I like I'm a at the time. No, I mean I had a girlfriend. Same, I still do, and I had an apartment. Like I paid all my own bills. Like I didn't have a kid. I didn't have house mortgage payment. But even then, dude, it's like so much in the back of my mind. Like, dude, did I just throw it away? Like, did I just really fuck up? If even then, I was like, they would take me back because I was the top sales rep.
Yeah.
So I had a little bit of security. I mean, every situation is different, but it's so much easier to like get started. Like when you, I don't know. Actually, this is bringing up a really, really good point because I don't think I would have had the success in high ticket sales as fast as I did if I
Without
didn't
the
have the
pressure.
sales experience. Because like I had broke those limiting beliefs of like 10, 15K a month,
Mm-hmm.
and so like I was able. I feel like I was able to like scale up because I saw people doing it and I knew I had the skill, even if I like didn't. Like I told you, I was like slapped in the face when I first came.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but yeah, I mean, there's no perfect time to do it. I guess that's like the
Dude.
big takeaway here. Like, just start if you're interested. If you
Mm-hmm.
like the lifestyle is what you want, the income is what you want. Um, start, but as far as the income part goes, like expect it to expect some trial and error. Like you'll get the
100%.
lifestyle right away, bro. Because when your calendar doesn't have any sales calls, you'll have the lifestyle.
Yeah.
But the income, dude, like just get started, start meeting people, spend money to get into network, like exclusive networks, and I don't know, keep going. It's probably the
100%. 100%.
best word of
Yeah,
advice.
dude. And even like there's a lot of people doing door to door stuff, and like in my head, they're always gonna probably end up here. They're 99% of them. They're always going to be those people that like they're going to make their 100K per month or whatever. But like 99% of people will come. Actually, no, I don't know what percentage, but a lot of people will come to this space in the first place. So just kind of get into it,
Yeah,
even if it's scarier.
yeah, dude. I think a lot of what I like attract to my group is like people who are already in sales who want to transition. So I talk to people from tech, door to door, insurance, retail, like everything, dude. And yeah, if you have the chance to just start in high ticket sales, um, you should absolutely do it. So
I talked to some people in corporate sales, and they're like, "Yeah, I don't get my commissions until the following year." I'm like, bro, like, what is that? Like you make money, you don't get it for another year and like and a half or something like that. I'm like, bro, like, how's that even possible?
yeah,
But apparently, it is possible.
that's crazy. Well, corporate dudes down bad. Come get into high ticket sales. Um, It's a lot of communities and networks that you can join. Um, I mean, we're each in a few of them, I would say. So yeah, dude, just find a couple people.
Choose one, just like a diet. Choose one and stick to it, because all of them work.
Yeah, that exactly. Choose one and stick to it, and like don't like overconsume. Like don't take like too long to take action. Don't buy in like five, 2 or 3 programs. Like all right, cool. Five
Yeah.
programs, like bro, you're
Yeah.
fucking. So
I agree. Even
yeah,
even being in a few, I'm like, holy crap, it was a lot.
a lot. Yeah. Well, shoot, man, let's wrap it up here. Appreciate you coming on. I guess where do you want to send the people? Where can they find you?
Which one do you most of your probably Twitter, right?
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, Twitter makes sense. Yeah, so it's KISHANR53 on Twitter. So that is dude. Honestly, if you look at my Twitter, I'm like kind of a clown on there. Like I don't know. Everyone that sees it will know it, but like it's kind of funny. Like that just kind of shows you that anyone can kind of do this crap because I'm such a clown on Twitter.
That's funny. Yeah, I'll link it below. If you guys want to connect with Kishan, go ahead and do it.
Sure, ask me anything.
Yeah. You guys need like you guys literally like if you want to be in high ticket sales and you're not connecting with guys like Kishan, you don't. How bad do you really want to be in it? So, all right. Appreciate y'all watching. See you later.
Appreciate.